is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome if you're new. We got a lot to cover. Just getting set up right now, and we will be live in a few minutes on the radio. Did you hear my cat? That was That was Pepsi. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, so I'm going to start today when we get on the radio with Tulsi, but we've got so much to cover. Today is one of the biggest news day. Every day since Trump's been reelected is just a huge news day. It's just the way it is. And that's a good thing because we all like the news, right? And the news is all good because Trump is in office. So I'm going to start my other stream a little early today. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and of course, we got a lot to talk about on the program today. We're going to be on the radio in about 10 minutes, and I'm going to get into Tulsi Gabbard and everything involving Tulsi. But I want to cover a couple of other things here before we go live on the radio. You know, this thing with Don Lemon, I want to play this clip. That Don Lemon is so pathetic. He's attacking Trump. So let me just play this, and then I'll talk about it and why I'm playing it. This is Don Lemon.
The innocent lives that were lost, the flight attendants, the people who were just traveling, trying to get from one place to another. And you have the nerve to stand there and try to blame other people. You know what a real president does? You know what a real leader does? You know what a real patriot does? They take responsibility. They say the buck stops with me.
Okay, so Don Lemon, what Don Lemon is trying to do is be relevant. He's trying to go viral. He's trying to get people to talk about him. And, you know, what these people don't understand, Don Lemon, Jim Acosta is about to experience this. These, you know, they leave CNN and they think they're going to be like Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and have these huge online shows going on. And what none of them realize is no one wants to hear what it is that they have to say. You know, you look at people that are conservative. Conservatives, you know, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, they both have very specific experiences, okay? Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson have more influence than ever, even when they had both, and I use them as an example, Megyn Kelly and Tucker, not anyone else, because like Don Lemon here and Jim Acosta, both on one of the 24-hour cable news outlets, and both Megyn Kelly and Tucker had that same 8 o'clock time slot on Fox at night, right? Megyn Kelly replaced O'Reilly, and then when Megan left for that disaster over on the Today Show at NBC, Tucker replaced her. And they had incidents happen, okay? Tucker was fired by Fox. He was fired by Fox because he uncovered something on the J6 tapes, the shaman. And what had happened with that is he got all those tapes, right, when Kevin McCarthy became speaker, and they didn't think he'd find anything. He was going to do an entire week of coverage on what he and his team at Fox found on the J6 tapes. And believe me, he did not start off with the grand finale. You start off with something big, but you end at the end of the week with something big. And the first night, he showed an insane video, which was from the Capitol cameras, security cameras, that showed that the Capitol Police had been escorting the shaman around looking for an unlocked door to walk him into the Senate chamber for that pool photographer from the mainstream media to get a photograph of the shaman walking into the Senate chamber. And boom, that was, in fact, that reporting was so good, not only did it get Tucker fired because the reporting was so good, it got the shaman released early, if you remember. Megyn Kelly quit Fox, but then she went over to NBC with that After Today Show thing. And this was during this, I don't know, right after the Me Too movement, but during the BLM movement's peak. And the racist on the Today Show got the Today Show to fire her. And they are both conservatives who had a story to tell. Hold on one second. Yeah. Hold on, I'm just texting Mike the board up. Texting Mike the board up at the radio station. So they, first off, both of them were fired by the mainstream news because they were, in Tucker's case, breaking one of the biggest news stories of our lifetime involving J6. And Megyn Kelly was a victim of the Today Show liberal racism against whites and conservatives. And they were blown out because of their messages. And people that are consumers of news, which are those of you who watch me, you guys are consumers of news, you're the news audience. You don't want to hear liberal crap. You want to hear the real story. And that's what you get from conservatives like me or Tucker or Megyn Kelly. And Don Lemon and Jim Acosta is about to realize this. They think that they're superstars because they're overpaid. You know, Don Lemon was paid $10 million when they fired him. They gave him $10 million for firing him. Can you imagine? So, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So, you know, I'm very much underpaid. They think that they have a following. They think they're important. They think there's an audience. And when they leave CNN and they try to go to alt media, no one cares. No one wants to hear their fake news. Okay? If you were putting together like the old style paper dictionary, the Webster's, you know, sometimes they'd have a photograph next to a word to illustrate the word. And you looked up fake news in the dictionary, the picture next to it would be Jim Acosta. Nobody wants to hear what it is they have to say. So Don Lemon and others, and Jim Acosta's next in line, but others, they're in shock that when they go to the new media, they have no one watching them. Nobody cares what these fake news people have to say. So what Don Lemon is doing here is trying to go viral by saying something stupid, blaming President Trump for the plane crash and everything after. You know, the people that are in place right now are mostly still the Biden people. Trump's only been in there a week, just over a week when this crash happened. He hasn't had time to take charge of everything. And they know that. It's just, it's really pathetic. Both Lemon and Acosta were fired, and they were fired because no one likes them, and no one wants to watch and hear what it is they have to say. Tucker was fired by Fox for breaking news. Megyn Kelly was fired by NBC because she's conservative, and people want to hear what it is they have to say. They're activists, not reporters. Somebody in the chat room said that. So, Don Lemon is just sad and pathetic. Now, I have 2 streams going in the morning. Those of you that watch on the vertical live stream, that's the one with the green screen. The video and the audio that I play, you can see and hear that on my other stream. So if you want to see and hear the audio that I play, jump over to the other stream. Okay, it's on my channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You'll be able to hear the callers and everything. And also, today's show it's Friday, right? And every Friday, we're not on the radio yet. We'll be on the radio in a few minutes. Every Friday on the radio, it's open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. Open MAGA Mic Friday. Now, you don't have to be MAGA to call in. It's open mic. And what I mean by that is the show prep is up to you guys. Monday through Thursday, I do my best to wrangle you in to call in and talk about what I'm talking about, And on Friday, we turn the show over to you guys. The show prep is up to you. And that's on Friday's show. So I got a lot of things that I'm going to cover on the program today. I'm going to start with Tulsi Gabbard, who was absolutely amazing. And I got a lot of other things I want to cover too. But let's see, where is that coming from? That is... Okay, that's this. There we go. Okay. There was something showed at the bottom. It was my camera for the other live feed. So you are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. I'm going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard in the beginning, and I have a bunch of other things I want to cover as well. But I thought Tulsi Gabbard was spectacular yesterday, and the reason that what her testimony revealed yesterday is why they hate her. She's not a warmonger, right? She's not a warmonger. She, she used to be a Democrat, and she supported a lot of radical liberal things, but Trump's brought her into the fold, and anyone that Trump brings in, you got to support and back them. And I was pretty impressed with her yesterday. And also we'll talk about Kash Patel's hearing. Kash Patel, his hearing was really uneventful, wasn't it? It really was. So I want to talk about why that is. Oh, I got to grab something here. Okay. I was surprised because I was expecting, out of all of the hearings, and maybe, I don't know if you guys were, but I was expecting Kash Patel's to be like totally insane because, we all know about him, and it wasn't. And he's much more, isn't he much more reasonable than these Democrats expected? And they came in with all this garbage, and it just bounced right off of Kash Patel. So we'll talk about all that stuff and take your calls. If you do want to call in and you're watching live, the toll-free number, which is toll-free no matter where you are watching, is pinned in the live chat, all right? So make sure you check that out. But I am going to start with Tulsi. I think she was so impressive. And she wore that liberal white that AOC and the Democrat ladies like to wear all of the time. I thought that was kind of funny, wasn't it? It sure was. I mean, they just can't stand her. And they also view her, like Bobby Kennedy, as a traitor because, she was a Democrat and now she's MAGA. But she Tulsi was never in that Washington Democrat inside clique, being from Hawaii and all. But she did. I think she did such a great job of exposing them. We're going to be on the radio in 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah, I was really surprised at how uneventful the Kash Patel hearing was. I don't want to say boring, but it was borderline boring, wasn't it? He did great. I'm not saying he didn't do great. He was incredible. He did very well. But the Democrats, they just fizzled out and crashed and burned during the Kash Patel. And they also crashed and burned with Tulsi Gabbard because, you know, they're conservative. Liberal arguments don't hold up to the conservative positions, which she has on these issues. But she's right, and they're just hysterical. All right, we're going to be on the air in 30 seconds on the radio. So I'll have to restart the open for the radio. So stand by. If you want to call in, our number is 1-888-465-2631. Stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. We got a lot to cover, and we're going to cover quite a bit on the program today. And of course, it is Friday. Oh man, I can't believe it's Friday already. It is Friday, although yesterday seemed like Friday. Today is Friday. And on Friday on the program, it is always open phones. Monday through Thursday, you've got to call in and talk about what we bring up on the program. But on Friday, the show prep is up to all of you in the listening audience, all right? And we very much want to hear what you have to say on the program, both Steve and I today. So any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. The number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I do have a few things, though, that I do want to bring up today, including the incredible job that Tulsi Gabbard did exposing so many things during her hearing. That was an incredible hearing. Not only am I going to talk about that early on, I'm going to play some audio from it. And hopefully the things that I bring up you find of interest enough to comment on as well. I will tell you, there is a story that has been leaked out to most everyone in the media like me involving the plane crash that no one is reporting yet, including me. And I'm not even going to hint to what it is, other than I want to say a few things about it. Yesterday, President Trump had his first press conference in the White House press briefing room of his second term. And it was amazing to watch. Very surreal, too, wasn't it? To see President Trump in the White House briefing room in front of the podium with the presidential seal in front of him and the presidential flag behind him. It was amazing. And the press conference was about this god-awful crash in Washington, D.C. 2 days ago. Just god-awful. And when you saw the team that Trump has put together up there with him, did it not give you confidence? We are, not only is our country back and being run by grown-ups, it's being run by competent grown-ups that you can trust and feel safe knowing that they are in charge. So President Trump came up first, followed by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Followed by Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, then Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, finally the Vice President of the United States J.D. Vance. And it was amazing. And they were all talking, they all said the same thing. They were up there about the plane crash and everything involving it, but all of them, including the president, and that's President Trump, our favorite president, all talked about the role that DEI played in this crash. And they were vague about it, but all of them talked about DEI. And the media, of course, are just having a fit over this, even still today. And the Trump derangement syndrome is in the bones of these fake news media people to a degree that they can't even hear themselves or see reality before them. You've got the President of the United States, the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, the Secretary of Defense, and the Vice President of the United States all up there talking about, although vaguely, but very specifically, talking about how DEI played a role in this crash. And what the media failed to accept is that all of them know something that we have not yet been told that involves DEI and the plane crash. All of these are very smart people, very brilliant people, all of them, from the president all the way down. And they know everything about everyone involved in the plane/helicopter crash. And they weren't just up there going on some rant against DEI. They knew something. They know something. In fact, they know pretty much everything about the pilots of the helicopter and the air traffic controller. Okay? And the media they just want to go against Trump and hate on Trump. They can't say, none of them say, wow, what does President Trump and the cabinet know that has not been revealed yet? All they know is they're MAGA. The reporters, they are leftist, anti-Trump activists, and they don't want to get into that. But obviously, I mean, as soon as I heard President Trump say that, and the whole thing, I knew that there's something involving DEI that has not yet been revealed. Now, there is a story that early this morning, and I'm talking about like 12:30 in the morning, started circulating around to people in the media like me. And it's a story that has been leaked about this crash. I'm not going to report on it yet. I have to wait until it is reported by and confirmed by someone that I know is credible. It's circulating all over social media, but not by any news outlet, Fox, Newsmax, or any of the more famous MAGA Republican conservative influencers like Jack Posobiec or Benny Johnson and others, okay? And I'm not going to report on this story. I'm not going to even hint as to what it is about until the story is confirmed. Now, you guys know I get up very early in the morning, and I've been up for many hours hoping that this story would be confirmed before I went on the air. It has not yet been confirmed, but now if it's true, it's going to change everything. But you have to be careful. A lot of times there's a lot of people like me that have this story that are sitting on it, not because we are covering something up. I desperately would like to share it with you. But until the story is confirmed by a known credible source, like the ones I mentioned, or there can be others too, no one wants to be first in case it's inaccurate. These leftists give stories to people like me all the time, trying to get us to report something false to make us look stupid. So we got to be careful with it. So even though it's open phones, if you are familiar with what I'm talking about, that is not on the table for the open phones today, just to let you know. I'm not going, it would be irresponsible of me to, for many reasons, to report something at the level. This is so big, if it's true, that if it's not true, you don't want to be, you don't want to be reporting something that's not real news, that's fake news. It's too important and too big. I'll tell you this, if the story had been confirmed by someone that I know and trust, I would have led with it right out of the box when I opened up my mic a few minutes ago, and the phones would be lit up all morning with it. So if the story is true, it is huge. But like I said, we're in the real news, not the fake news business. So and I know a lot of people have this story, and no one has confirmed it yet. So we're going to take our first break of this Friday edition of Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, hang in there. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. But if you do have the story that's been leaked about the crash that I'm referencing, That is not on the table for open phones. That will not. I can't allow. It's such a big story that if it's fake news, it's just very bad to report something that's fake news, especially something so big. Okay. So hopefully, and I will be monitoring through the program this morning, if a confirmation comes through from a credible source, I will report it to you. All right. Okay, now our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. But I'll say to you guys, I'm not even going, like if somebody calls in and says, is it this, is it that, I'm not going to entertain those calls either. It's too important and too big of a story to let something like that discount it. We got to wait until it is confirmed. That's just the way it is. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. I'm live on the radio. This is a radio. We're in break right now on the radio, but you're welcome to call in. This is where MAGA comes to talk. The callers you hear on the stream here are listening to me on the radio, many on YouTube and other places online where the show is carried. But we're not going to do guessing games. Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? I'm not going to do that. We're not even going to speculate on it. And it's just not. We can't go after the fake news and then become that ourselves. And I have over the years, the left have put out so many fake stories about things to try to discredit conservative media people. You got to be very, very careful. That's just you got to have some rules. But if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video, if you don't mind. I'm going to take some calls first because it's Open MAGA Mic Friday, open phones. And then I'll start going through some of the audio of Tulsi Gabbard, who did phenomenal. Now, those of you that are watching on the live stream with the green screen, with the green behind me, you'll hear the callers, but the audio sound bites, you won't hear the audio or see the video here. You'll have to go to my other stream to see the video and hear the audio that I play. We'll be back on the radio in just over 1 minute. Oh boy, yeah, the number is toll free. It's pinned at the top of the live chat or at the bottom. It is pinned in the live chat, depending on where you're watching. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. Oh boy, yeah, we'll be back in less than 1 minute. And when we get back, I got to talk about, before I go to the phones, we got to talk about My Pillow, which has a great deal going on right now for our listeners. Okay, 30 seconds. We'll be back live on the radio. There's Mike Lindell himself. Okay, we are going to be back in 20 seconds. A little less than that now. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Now, Mike Lindell, I announced this yesterday. You want to take advantage of this while it lasts. This is an incredible deal. Now, of course, there's incredible sales going on right now with our promo code Kane at checkout site-wide. And you can use our promo code Kane at checkout for all of the deals at MyPillow.com. But this is the incredible offer that Mike Lindell is offering right now. You want to take advantage of this. This will end without notice. Right now, with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, it is free shipping on all orders, no matter how large, no matter how small. Now, we have had for a while free shipping on orders over $75. That's over. It's free shipping on all orders, no matter how large, no matter how small. So that means you could order a pair of socks from MyPillow with our promo code Kane, of course, and get free shipping or order something that's huge. And my wife and I, we loaded up. We bought our daughter a bunch of new towels because there's a great deal on the towels and sheets and yesterday, and they're on their way to her, and we got free shipping. So free shipping site-wide no matter what you order, plus the huge discount as high as 80% off some of the top, most popular MyPillow products. That's with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Take advantage of this while it lasts. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. And again, that's free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Brian, I wanted to continue the conversation from yesterday. Apparently, there was something wrong with my device.
I don't remember I don't remember the conversation, so you have to remind me.
Melissa McCarthy. You asked me who the most famous white woman was that benefited from DEI. Melissa McCarthy.
Who? Who's that?
The agent that couldn't holster her weapon. The agent who couldn't qualify prior to the incident in Butler.
Oh, the Secret Service lady that couldn't find her holster? Okay, yeah, okay, you got there. She's incompetent, yes.
Now, data aggregation, HR data aggregation is a method in which they gather information on the demographics who they hire. It is an incontrovertible fact. White women benefit most from DEI. Incontrovertible fact.
Mm. Wow. Okay. And what's your point? Is it fair to say that white liberal women and white gay women benefit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So there's a factor you're leaving out, like with the when you're talking about DEI, it's like the fire department chiefs out in LA. A lot of lesbians do, yes, and they a lot of them are white.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
But I know it is open phones on Friday, right? And people can call in about anything and everything on your mind, but I would like you not to be boring, because this is you're boring.
Well, what you find boring, others may find interesting.
I cannot imagine that there's a single person in this listening audience that finds anything you've shared this morning interesting.
Well, Brian, at times when you go on your rants or your information is sometimes is questionable, and I know for a fact it's questionable because I would say I have more of an insight on certain subject matters than you.
Oh, well, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, well, if I'm talking about something and I go on a long rant that's boring.
Brian,
excuse me. If I go on a long rant. Excuse me. If I go on a long rant.
Right now I find you boring. You take good care.
Okay, see what he did? He hung up. He knew what I was doing. What I was going to say to him is, if I go on a long rant that you find boring and don't want to listen to, what do? You turn the dial. And my equivalent of turning the dial would be to hang up on the caller, which he's smart enough to know where I'm going. Now, I must say, that very boring call that he started with, I thought when I got into a little bit with him, when I turned the tables a little bit, now that was interesting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe from Royal Palm Beach.
Hey, Joe. What's up, man?
I cannot stand hearing Chuck Schumer anymore. After what he did yesterday, it's disgusting about this, I've been listening to that man since I'm a kid, from 30 years. He's got to shut up. Is there any way to shut him up?
No, he's a sitting United States senator. I mean, it's America, free speech. You don't. You're not required to listen to Schumer. But you said that you can't. You're annoyed with him now. I've always found him annoying. When has Schumer ever not been annoying? He's pathetic.
I know. Every single time they run him out like a puppet, like to say this. If you take something from 20 years ago, it's the same rhetoric. It's just like, why him? Put somebody that you know that doesn't lie right.
Well, you know what the Democrats are planning, you know, at some point he's going to leave. They plan on replacing him in the Senate with AOC, you know. So that's, wait till they do that. Oh, my goodness. And she's a lot younger. So we'll be hearing about her forever and ever. If she ever gets that Senate seat, AOC, oh, my goodness. Would New York be that insane to elect her as the senator? You never know. They may, they may be. You never know. Now I want to do. There are some things I do want to bring up though, and I want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard here, and I want to play some of the clips of Tulsi. Here's one of them. Let me just play this, then we'll talk about it. But I think she did spectacular yesterday. This is the first one. Listen.
Before I close, I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that will challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country. Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States. Accusing me of being Trump's puppet, Putin's puppet, a God's puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used against President Trump and failed. The American people elected President Trump with a decisive victory and mandate for change. The fact is, what truly unsettles my political opponents is I refuse to be their puppet.
Who's this guru, by the way, that she's referencing? They say she's a puppet of Tony Robbins or something? I don't know. You know, here's the thing. You know, President Kennedy, the uncle of, well, our HHS secretary-to-be, you know, when he wrote that book, Profiles in Courage. Any of you guys read Profiles in Courage? We used to have to read Profiles in Courage in 8th grade. It was like required reading. They probably don't teach that book anymore in school. It's too American. Well, Trump will bring it back. But he wrote that book when he was a senator. If you go and buy the book, if it's a good copy, it'll say Profiles in Courage, written by Senator John F. Kennedy, not president, right? And he wrote about the number 5 always sticks in my mind. It may be more, but he wrote about Democrat senators who did what they thought was right, even when the party thought it was wrong, when they went against the party. And that's what you see with Tulsi Gabbard. She's a lifelong Democrat. She's left the Democrat Party because she's doing what she thinks is right, and the Democrat Party is after her. You know, if the Kennedys weren't so corrupt, Carolyn Kennedy's the leader of all that, Kennedy, you know, John F. Kennedy Foundation and everything, Tulsi Gabbard is deserving of the Profiles in Courage Award. For her to stand up against the party that she's been a part of her entire life. She was a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives as a Democrat from Hawaii. And for her to stand up against the Democrat Party like she's doing because she believes that they're wrong and Trump is right is pretty courageous for her to do. And I thought she did incredibly well yesterday. Now, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. And when we get back, I'll share some more from Tulsi Gabbard. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Thank you. Tulsi Gabbard from American Samoa. I thought she was from Hawaii. She's from American Samoa, really? What did she do? She moved to Hawaii? She was a congresswoman from Hawaii. So I always thought she was from Hawaii. I don't know. I'll be right back, guys. be back in 2 minutes live on the radio, and then I'm gonna get back into Tulsi when we get back. Now, those of you that are watching on the vertical live stream with the green, to hear the sound and see the video of the sound bites, you have to go to my other stream. You can hear the callers on the green stream, but not the audio sound bites or see the video. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe if you don't mind. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. I mean, I was very, were you impressed by Tulsi yesterday? Yes or no? I mean, how could you not be? She was absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And she really exposed them for so many different things. And this thing she dropped on Obama was huge. We'll be back on the radio in like 20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. Okay, so Tulsi, and it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, hang in there. I do want to get some of this out on Tulsi Gabbard, who was phenomenal yesterday. And really what she exposed was the deep state and these warmongers, these terrible people that have been working against the best interest of the United States, including Obama. Listen, this is Tulsi yesterday, who looked, did she not look fantastic? Oh my goodness, she looked really good yesterday too. Here she is, exposing Obama. Listen to this. Oh. Okay, now let me stop there. So she's telling us that Obama armed the people that knocked down the trade centers, that knocked down the towers, that attacked us on 9/11. My goodness. Who would arm Al-Qaeda? Obama, and well, then Biden did it again. Wow. Okay, so, Obama, George Bush and Dick Cheney with their lies of WMDs destabilized the Middle East, but Obama is the father of ISIS and this new Al Qaeda and other terrorist organizations that are out there, and he is responsible for their establishment. And he took the destabilizing of the Middle East that the warmongers Bush and Cheney did, and then he took it to a whole new level. And this is why they're panicked about her. That beware the military-industrial complex. I know we use that so much, but you really get to see, with the hearing of Tulsi Gabbard yesterday, you get to see how the military-industrial complex has so much control over our public officials, our senators in particular. And then in the Robert Kennedy hearing, you get to see how the pharmaceutical companies have so much control over our senators. And, Goldbar Menendez, sentenced to 11 years in prison, he just can't understand why he's going to prison. This is what Menendez thinks, and he's right to think this. What did he do that all these senators on these committees and these confirmation hearings have not done? Which is take bribes, and they're obviously working for others. This was amazing. This guy is just a monster. This is Senator Bennett, just another monster, and Trump derangement syndrome has given birth to some offshoot diseases, in this instance, Tulsi derangement syndrome. Listen to this monster talking to a veteran of the United States Army. Now, I'm going to slow down on this. Snowden's an interesting guy, and the Democrats are all into, and the establishment Republicans, into labeling him as a traitor. I have thought from the beginning that Snowden is still working for the United States intelligence community. I've always thought that. He is kind of like a double agent, like right out of a Cold War novel. Here he was a young guy making six figures, living in Hawaii with a Hawaiian tropic model girlfriend. And he gave all that up to go freeze in Russia. His girlfriend is now with him. I think they're married. But I think that Snowden has been working for the United States all along. And I know that may not be what you think. It may not be common thought, but I've always thought that. But anyway, back to the senator with Tulsi yesterday. Wow. This is why I don't like these hearings, because they ask you these questions like yesterday during the Kash Patel hearing. They don't want answers to their questions. They just want to bark accusations. And this is for every hearing ever, right? There was, I can't remember which senator it was yesterday in the Kash Patel hearing. And they went through this list of terrible slanders, just terrible things, like the worst things you could say about someone. They say it to Kash Patel. He goes to respond, and they say, respond in writing. This is my time. I'm like, well, what's the point of me being here? Get the questions to bark at me? It was bizarre. right? It's just bizarre. That's how these things are. But one of the Republican senators in the Kash Patel hearing said yesterday something that was so spot on and so smart. They said the Democrats, and this goes for all these confirmation hearings, they're like people from another era. They don't understand that the country's changed. They're talking like people in the Congress from years ago. They're irrelevant, and they don't realize it. Okay, here's another one with Tulsi yesterday.
I want to make certain that in no way does Russia get a pass in either your mind
Oh, Russia. Russia.
Senator, I'm offended by the question because my sole focus, commitment, and responsibility is about our own nation, our own security, and the interests of the American people. In carrying out the responsibilities of the Director of National Intelligence, if confirmed, no country, group, or individual will get a pass. In my fulfilling that responsibility of providing that full intelligence picture so that you all can make the best informed policy decisions for the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. You have my commitment to be completely objective, unbiased, and apolitical, and I hope you understand my commitment to our country's interests.
Yeah, I mean, this thing with Russia. Russia is not our enemy. They're Ukraine's enemy, don't get me wrong. Russia is not our enemy. You know, I drive on 95 and it's filled with potholes. How can I be worried about, our country's been invaded for the last 4 years by millions of invaders, maybe 25 million invaders, many of them rapists and murderers and traffickers of drugs and of perversions. And I'm supposed to worry about the border sovereignty of Ukraine? No, Russia is not a problem for us. But these people stepping out of the 80s thinks that it is. Now, I want to talk about those of you out there that are suffering with neuropathy. Oh, my goodness. I don't have to tell you. It's awful. It's awful. Believe me, I know, because Steve had every neuropathy symptom in the medical books. Neuropathy is painful. It makes life unbearable. People that have neuropathy end up bedridden. Your doctors, even your neurologists, because this was Steve Kane's experience, will tell you there's no treatment for neuropathy. That is not true. Not only is there a treatment for neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical in Pompano, they have a treatment that works. And I know it works because I've seen it work on Steve Kane. It was miraculous. And I've met many of our listeners, including when we were at Wings Plus last week. I've met many listeners that have been rid of their neuropathy symptoms from the treatment at Lighthouse Medical. I'm going to give you their number. And remember, Steve had his treatment 2.5 years ago, and his neuropathy symptoms have not returned after 2.5 years. So not only does Lighthouse Medical have a treatment for neuropathy that works, it's a treatment that lasts. Now, when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back after this. Oh, man. So much good things to cover. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm sorry, but I got to get some of this out or we'll never get to it. President Trump hires the best, doesn't he? And she is top tier. There's no getting around it. She is top tier. It does not get better than Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. It really does not. This is the first administration ever. Trump's first term, this is even better than the first term, but by a lot. But the other presidents, we have not had competent people. We've had people get jobs because they were connected, or someone's wife, or someone's kid, or they were a donor, or they endorsed a president in such a state that they needed the help in. I don't think we've, President Trump's against the DEI. Meritocracy, a word I've never heard before, and now it's one of the most common words used in America, meritocracy. And meritocracy, you see it in that press briefing yesterday. President Trump, Pete Hegseth, Sean Duffy, J.D. Vance, they got everything under control. We've never seen a cabinet this competent. We haven't. Not in my lifetime. Maybe some of you that are older than me, but maybe, because like President Kennedy brought people in, like the McNamara was Kennedy's Secretary of Defense. He was the president of Ford Motor Company, and Kennedy made him Defense Secretary. That's a competent guy. But this is, we are living through one of the most historical periods in American history. So you want to enjoy it, guys. You really want to make sure that you enjoy it. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And subscribe if you're new. If you're already subscribed, please like the video and share it too. If you could take this video and share it on all your socials, that would be spectacular too. And if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to get to the calls after the break, which will be back in just a few seconds. Stand by, 10 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. All right, so I've covered a lot. I got more to share with Tulsi, but I'm going to take some more calls first, and then we'll get back to I got a couple more clips of Tulsi Gabbard that I think are very important. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Brian. Good morning. It's Danielle calling from Michigan.
Oh, hey, Danielle. Oops, sorry about that. What's the weather like in Michigan today? Oh, hold on. There we go. What's the weather like in Michigan this morning?
It's mild and it's a little foggy with a little bit of drizzle. But hey,
move to Florida.
It's a beautiful. Yeah, I know. My family's in Florida right now.
Hey, listen. Every day is sunshine with Trump in the White House.
That's what I was just gonna say. It's a beautiful day. I love watching common sense come back every moment of every day. I mean, it's great. My comment was in regards to the absolute meltdown of these women on the left grilling the nominees.
Yeah.
I've never seen, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, these people are absolutely in pure meltdown mode.
Old hags.
And yes. And I think what it's doing, Brian, is I think it's really helping the nominees. And my question regarding that, have you by chance heard, has Soon put out a message that they're staying through the weekend? We need to get these confirmations. We need to get this going.
I'm here to tell you, I'm pretty confident that everyone's going to get confirmed, including Kash Patel. Kash Patel, as far as I'm concerned, is confirmed already. I watched all of that yesterday. I didn't see Tulsi live because I was watching Kash Patel, and I was expecting Kash Patel's to be the most controversial. He is, most of what even we've heard about him are lies and slanders. He's not a controversial person. And the Democrats were filleted by him.
Oh, I'm telling you, I listen to as much as I can. I have it in my ear when I'm working, and I listened to it yesterday.
Yeah.
He is everything that we need, and so is she. They are absolutely losing it on the left. I thought they needed to remove Amy Klobuchar. She was absolutely having a fit. I'm just wondering if they're, being told, hey, we're not leaving until we get this done.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, but the plane crash shows the urgency to have people in place. So I think we'll see things sped up because of the plane crash.
It sure does. I'm telling you, when I read and heard about the lack of staff, and the incident the day before at the
Well, let me
airport
tell
in
you,
DC,
the story that is leaked out that I'm not reporting on because it hasn't been confirmed. If that story is true, when you hear that, shortage of staff ain't nothing. It's gonna change the world if this story's true. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Have a great weekend. All right, take care. All right, so let's go here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark.
You know, I've been watching this, getting the little glimpses of the hearings, and you know, the Democrats just scream and yell at the people, and it's so disrespectful how they treated Robert Kennedy because he has difficult talking. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're just disrespectful.
Well, you know, I got to tell you something with the Democrats. I mean, you look at the Kennedys, right? They got a Kennedy that killed a woman, and the family rallies around him, and the Democrats call him like the dean of the Senate, right? Ted Kennedy. Now, another Kennedy was on trial for rape in Florida years ago, and he was acquitted, okay? But it was a very high-profile trial. Remember the William Kennedy Smith trial? And when he was on trial for rape, which he was acquitted of, Senator Kennedy and the entire Kennedy family rallied around him. In fact, Senator Kennedy was in the courtroom every day and even testified in his defense as a character witness. Michael Skakel murdered a girl, a member of the Kennedy family, and they supported him. And, you know, I've seen the Kennedys support people that have been accused of rape and have murdered people, but you become MAGA and all of a sudden they do this. Carolyn Kennedy is a disgrace to her father. And I'm here to tell you, President Kennedy and Senator Bobby Kennedy would support Bobby Kennedy Jr. working for President Trump. I have no doubt in my mind. These people are pigs, especially Carolyn Kennedy and her son that made that video making fun of Bobby Kennedy's health issues.
You know, when I listen to and see the people that Trump has picked for his administrative staff, it gives me a lot of hope and a lot of confidence in, you know, what Trump does for America. Because the people that Biden picks are like little kindergarten kids compared to the people that Trump picks. They're like top of the class graduates from college.
Well, you know, this thing about, you know, they're top tier competent people. And, you know, this thing about, you know, the way that the Democrats are treating Bobby Kennedy is a disgrace. I mean, I'm a big, you know, they both died before I was born, President Kennedy and Senator Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. But, you know, all Americans respect them. And, you know, when President Kennedy was president, he regularly, this was done mostly in secret, and it wasn't known until many years later, but he regularly consulted as an advisor President Eisenhower, who was a Republican. He wasn't just some partisan hack like these modern day Democrats are.
Well, we got the new sheriff in town, and it sure is showing how much better it will be for America.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with everything. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, man. Take care. Right. So far now, so we started off with that really terrible person, but now we've raised the bar a little bit. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, that one soundbite you played earlier when that senator was over talking Tulsi.
Yeah.
You could hear and she was talking about Obama. You could hear the panic in his voice. He was panicking.
You know, when I have a liberal jerk on the phone and I ask a question, I want an answer. I don't just say, don't answer me. I don't just bark a question and then don't want an answer. Now, we may start yelling because they don't answer the question. But, you know, they don't want answers in these hearings. They just want to slander you.
They don't want answers, but here's the deal. They cannot have anybody besmirch Obama. They can't.
Yes.
They're not going to allow that.
Yeah, well, when he and his wife are divorced, she'll be doing that. The divorce rumors look like they're more true now. Good to hear from you, Mike. Take care. Have a great weekend. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Bob in Jupiter.
Hey, Bob. What's up?
Not much, man. Hey, I just love these hearings being held on Trump's appointees. It's really showing how stupid some of these senators and congressmen are. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know, doesn't it? Yeah, they're pathetic.
And it just shows that they're not out here for me and you. They're out here for themselves to line their own pockets and to, increase their power and screw everybody else. That's how I feel. But what I'm really concerned about is I need to have Kash Patel. He needs to be appointed and he needs to be approved, because I think it's wonderful that Trump is having the JFK and Martin Luther King and the other dossiers released. But the most important question in my mind is, was it Hirono? Is that the lady from Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay, did her father, who fought for the Japanese, was he the one who ate Joe Biden's Uncle Bosie? That's what I want to know.
Who's Uncle Bosie? Oh, yes, Uncle Bosie. I forgot about, it's hard to remember all the Biden's lies. Yeah, I know. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe I'll ask her. I'll schedule her on the show and ask her.
Please do. All right, you guys have a great day.
All right,
Bye.
take care. I like that guy. He's good. Good call. A little sense of humor there. And that was a sophisticated joke, because I even had to think about it for a minute before I got it, because I forgot about Uncle Bosie. But no, this was great, and I have no doubt that all of these people that Trump has appointed are going to be confirmed, including Kash Patel. And the Senate is not there to not approve people; it is advise and consent. So they give their advice. I don't like them, and then they consent, or I like them, and then they consent. Where is the don't approve come in from advise and consent? I have no worries about it. And, after the top of the hour, I got a couple more clips from Tulsi Gabbard, but we're coming close to the top, so I don't think I have time to do it now. But after the top of the hour, I'm going to play a couple more clips from Tulsi Gabbard before I move on to some other things. But Kash Patel yesterday was a rock star. And I thought that hearing with Kash Patel, and not only did I think that, Fox did, because Kash Patel and Tulsi were going on at the same time, and Fox News carried Kash Patel, not Tulsi's, because they thought that's where all the excitement was going to be. And that was really an uneventful hearing, because he's such a reasonable person. They've created this persona, this reputation of Kash Patel, of radical craziness, that's just not the case. And he seemed so rational yesterday, didn't he? He did, and I think it's not even, he didn't even seem controversial during that hearing yesterday. Now I want to tell you all about this incredible offer from MyPillow.com. Right now, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at MyPillow.com, it is free shipping on all orders site-wide. Free shipping on all orders of any size. Now, we've been promoting for a while free shipping on orders over $75. That's gone. It's now free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, site-wide, no matter what you order, no matter how small the order, no matter how large the order is. If you order a pair of socks, the MyPillow socks, which, by the way, are spectacular, free shipping on those, or you order something that weighs 50 pounds or even more, it's free shipping. And, of course, you can save up to 80% off the sale price on some of the great items. And my wife and I took advantage of the free shipping during the mega sale and got my daughter sheets and towels, new sheets. I stayed with her for a few days last week, and I came home and I told my wife our daughter needs towels and she needs sheets. And when this free shipping offer came in from MyPillow with our promo code Kane, we loaded up, and you can do the same. Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane. Free shipping site-wide. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back after this. Everything's going great. Oh, man. Things could not be going better. I'm texting someone, you guys. Oh, how exciting. It's such a great time. Oh, and I want to tell you guys, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. If you're in South Florida, Tom Laporta will be at the Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival all weekend long. It's going on today, Saturday and Sunday in Fort Lauderdale. Just look up Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival. You can find it. And I may stop by. The Greek Festival is amazing. And Tom Laporta is going to have a booth for Laporta Roofing there. So you'll see his booth. And you can stop in and say hi. Oh, it doesn't get better than this. I mean, you know, Trump said we get sick of. I am never going to be sick of winning. Are any of you going to be sick of winning? Never. Never will I be sick of winning. And winning, indeed, we are. If you're on hold, hang in there. And when we get back, I'll take some more calls. But I want to finish up with what I have on Tulsi. And then I have some other things that I got to get to as well. But I am going to go back to the phones right out of the break. We'll be back on the radio in 2 minutes. This is a wonderful time. It does not get better than this. Things will go down in price, believe me. Gas has already gone down. And more will go down. There's 2 openings on the board. Gas prices have already gone down. Oh, well, it was so amazing, wasn't it, to see President Trump in front of that presidential seal yesterday? It's a miracle, an absolute miracle. Yeah, I noticed when I was in California last week, the gas prices dipped under $5, and I got gas. I filled up one of my cars yesterday, and gas had gone way down. I don't pay a lot of attention to the gas prices because it's been so painful. I don't want to know. But gas, haven't you guys noticed the gas prices have already gone down? Oil prices are based on future expectations in the market. Yeah, we're 30 seconds until we're back. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. Here we go. We're coming back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. Callers on hold. Stand by. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. Before I get back into Tulsi Gabbard and all the stuff I have, I'm going to go to the phones. Remember, Friday, it's open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game. The show prep is up to you and the listening audience on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance, bud. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
First, I got some good news, man.
President Trump put in as the U.S. Attorney in Hawaii somebody I know for a long time. His name is Kenny Sorensen, and he's a really mega man. So this is great. So now Hawaii has somebody that's not so damn.
You mean an actual friend of yours?
Friend of mine, yeah. Well,
Wow.
Actually, he's my brother's wife's brother.
Your mother's. Wait a second. Your mother's wife's
My
brother?
brother.
Oh, your brother's wife. I thought you said your mother's wife's brother. I'm like, what?
Sorry, I can't speak yet, I guess.
Or maybe I'm not hearing correctly. I don't know. Your brother's wife's mother. Okay, it would be easier to say my sister-in-law's brother would be easier to understand. My sister-in-law's brother.
There you go.
How about that?
There you go.
Okay, that's easier to understand. You got too many things. Your sister-in-law's brother was appointed by President Trump to be a United States attorney in Hawaii. Wow.
Yes, sir, man. That's great. And the other thing, good news is I have this liberal that I talk to all the time. He said, one of my friends talked to him, he said he's so happy that first time he ever voted for President Trump. He loves President Trump. So we're changing people, obviously, as he won the election because a lot of Democrats went over.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. A lot of Democrats have gone over. But I'll tell. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, the thing I want to say about the damn hearings, I understand that they say, "Oh, I only have 5 minutes," and so I would suggest that Congress say, "You have 5 minutes when you're talking. When the person sitting there is answering, he has all the time he wants to answer because this is what they."
Well, you can't give them all the time they want. They'll talk for some of them. Will talk for 6 hours, but you got to give them 1 or 2 minutes to respond.
Something respond. There you go.
I mean, what they do with these, and it's both houses of Congress do this. They bark slanders. Do you beat your wife? Do you eat puppies? Do you kill cats? Do you kill kittens?
Yeah.
And you go to answer, my time, it's my time, reclaiming my time. It's ridiculous.
It's terrible, And then, why does it have to be public? They all sit into their offices and have meetings before they do this, so they know exactly what they
Free publicity. Free publicity. That's it.
That's it. It's just a political dumb thing. I think these things. It's interesting to watch, but man, they're annoying. They come up with this nonsense, and you can't answer. That's not right. That's not fair. And that's not right.
And not every question's a yes or no answer. They want you to say, and I'm not going to. You're not in a court of law. You're not required to answer with the answer they want you to answer with.
Yeah, exactly. Yes or no answer, and but their way of saying it is not the way you can answer yes or no because you have to explain yourself. But they don't. You're not allowed. This is terrible. Congress got to come up with a better idea because what they're doing now is really not nice.
Well, it's not productive. It's not productive. But you know what? It's always been this way. Even if you go back to the McCarthy hearings, okay? It was the same thing during the McCarthy hearings. Republicans do the same thing when there's Democrats being questioned a lot of times.
But
I wouldn't say to the degree that the Democrats do. The Democrats are worse at it.
There you go. Yeah, and it's apparent. I mean, these people are answering questions like that.
But I will say there's one Republican that really is annoying to me, and some of you might get mad at me. I'll tell you in just a moment. But thanks for the call, Doug. All right, take care. Katie Britt. Katie Britt is that her name? Katie Britt. She is just annoying to me. I'm glad she's MAGA and she's conservative. God bless her and all of that. But I don't like, first off, I don't like smile talkers. That's number one. People that smile when they talk. But then she was sitting next to our new senator from Florida. I forgot her name, my own senator, the one that DeSantis appointed. And she was sitting next to her. And when she was talking, Katie Britt was smiling. And she's just always too happy. And it seems fake to me. She's very annoying to me. Am I the only one that feels like... Now, she's MAGA, and I love that, and she votes right, and she supports Kash Patel, but she is really annoys me. I would not be able to spend much time with that woman. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, in fact, when she was talking yesterday, she read off a list of quotes of Kash Patel from the hearing earlier that I already heard him say. I had to mute it. Our new senator, is it Moody? Is that our new senator? When she was speaking, and I saw Katie Britt next to her smiling while she was speaking, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" It looks so fake. It looks like a Stepford wife or one of the women from the HBO version of Westworld. It just didn't look real. I don't like it. It seems very fake to me. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Oh, hey,
Good
Richie.
morning. I want to talk about the great deception and how proud I am of finally the Republicans have got it in their brain. The first greatest deception was Biden running as for president as a moderate, and he turned out to be a radical left-wing kook. Okay, that's number one. Number two, anybody following Kash Patel, I mean, I followed this guy for years, and you have also. That wasn't the Kash Patel that I saw sitting there.
It was not. It was a whole different person.
Yeah, but he did what he had to do, and the Democrats were frustrated because they know that's not Kash Patel.
He wasn't playing ball. He wasn't playing ball with them. You know, he was. I would say kind of almost, if it was like a criminal court, a hostile witness. He was not being cooperative.
Yeah. No, and neither was Tulsi. No, I told you before. I liked her, and you said, "Why? Because she's good looking." I said, "No, I liked her because I thought she changed."
Yeah.
Trump's, but I'm talking about Kash Patel is a radical that's going to go after these people. They know it, but he wouldn't let on to it.
The confirmation hearings is a little bit of purgatory that you have to go through. You get through it, and
you gotta lie a little bit.
And I don't know about a lot, but you know what happens a lot of times in these hearings. This happens with the Supreme Court nominees sometimes. They get into it with the senators or the House members if it's in the House, and they're giving them material. And all of the Trump nominees, if you noticed, all of the Trump nominees, all of them, Pete Hegseth, all of them, have been very short and uncooperative. Like, I remember one of the things with Kash yesterday, one of the Democrats threw some slanders at him. He started to respond, and he said, "It's my time." And he said, and Kash Patel says, "All right, have at it." And he just sat back because he knew, I mean, they're not playing ball. Words, it takes two to tango.
Look, Merrick Garland came across as he came across as he's going to be a moderate, turned out to be a kook, a creep. Yeah. And then the other guy, the other Mayorkas, whatever his name is, the Homeland Security turned out to be a creep. They all were creeps. They all lied their way through their confirmation. And Republicans, instead of being 100% honest, you're right. They didn't play ball with them. They know Kash Patel. He did say, "I'm going to empty out that building first day." He said all these things, and he meant it. I've been watching this guy with Bannon for years.
Well, there's obviously been a plan by all of the nominees for the Trump cabinet on how to handle things. And if you notice, like yesterday was President Trump's first press briefing in the press briefing room. And he wasn't dancing with those reporters either. He'd answer their question and move on. There was in the first term, some of those people he would have gone back and forth 30 minutes with.
No, he got on it. When he got in, they told him to keep quiet. The guy, I believe he's from ABC or
NBC.
Or
NBC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they all try to. It's all I gotcha. That's all they try to do. Gotcha question. One, yes or no. They don't want to hear the truth. And if you start to explain something, they cut you off. So this is a big showboat trial. So all of our witnesses didn't play ball with them. They all were a little bit deceptive, and they know what's coming. And thank God they finally learned. They finally learned what you can't be honest with these Democrats because they're not honest.
No, but there's every confirmation hearing we've watched so far. There's been no real heated exchanges. Bobby Kennedy did humiliate Bernie Sanders yesterday on all the pharmaceutical money he's taken. But, they're really, I might play that later. It was so good. But their tactic, the tactic of the Trump nominees, I think, will be the model for future nominees with both parties.
Absolutely.
Don't give them any material.
You can't tell. You can't give material. You cannot be 100% honest because they'll jump all over you. You just got to. You have to agree with them. Actually. Oh yes, I'm going to be a wonderful person. I'm not going to go after you. I'm not looking about yesterday. I'm looking forward.
But you know, those in the Kash Patel hearing, those Democrats looked terrified. It was like the FBI had delivered them a file on them right before the hearing, and they're terrified.
Yeah, you notice there's one answer. I'm not going to, if it's not constitutional, I'm not going to go after him, which is basically saying I'm going after you because it's going to be constitutional.
Exactly. All right, Richie, I'm late for the break. I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. We'll be back on the radio in 2 minutes. All right, we'll be back on the radio shortly. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video if you don't mind. And if you could share the video on all your social media, that would be awesome too. Pretty good calls today, except that first guy. That first guy sucked. He was awful. About 15 seconds, we'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. You know, our 6th annual cruise leaves March 30th for a week. So the first week in April, Steve and I will be on the high seas. Our cruise has sold out. We have no cabins to offer you guys anymore. I'm sorry. Now, if any openings come up, I will tell you. But those of you who are already booked on the cruise, and if you've not set up your shore excursions, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot this morning and do it. Since we're sold out, some of our excursions may fill up, and if you want to be booked before, okay? So, and if you've never been on one of our cruises, you're going to love the excursions. They're the highlights for me. I go on all of the shore excursions with you. So everyone who's already booked, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and sign up for the shore excursions because they are going to fill up. All right, to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard from Pompano.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, with all the great news that's going on right now.
And speak up a little bit. Speak up a little bit.
Okay, with all the great news that's been going on for pro-Trump people, I haven't heard from Tucker Carlson. Do you know if there's something going on there? Or
what do you mean? By not hearing from Tucker, what do you mean?
He's not a guest on any of the talk shows. He's not. I don't know.
Well, his son just got hired to be on J.D. Vance's staff at the White House.
Okay. Well, I want to hear Tucker Carlson's comments.
Well, follow him on X.
Why?
He does stuff all the time. You just haven't seen it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let me ask you: have you suffered with depression throughout your entire life? Because every time you call, you sound sad.
No, I was just thinking about him.
You sound sad.
Tucker Carlson.
You don't think you're not feeling sad? Are you a widower?
No.
Your wife's still alive?
No, the lady I lived with for 17 years.
Oh, okay, okay. You're shacking up for 7. That's okay, you know. But you just always sound doom and gloom every time I talk to you. Trump won. He's in the White House. You should be happy.
I am thrilled.
You don't sound like it.
That's just how I come across over the phone.
Oh,
really,
I see.
I'm very happy with what's
Okay.
going
Hey, well,
on.
listen. All right. I appreciate that. Okay. Good. You've heard him call, Richard from Pompano. Doesn't he always sound depressed? He always sounds depressed. He shouldn't. We're winning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Bob from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Bob. What's up?
So, this country will never ever come together. It's just. I mean, they won't let Trump do his job. You can see it already. Okay, and my point to you is, and to the listening audience, is that everybody is entitled to their opinion. I get that. It's a free country, and politics is politics. However, watching the inauguration and watching Kamala and her husband and the Clintons and the people on that side, basically, except for one person.
You're talking about the unemployed has-beens. Everyone you listed is an unemployed has-been.
Yeah. Now, I understand that Kamala, she's a sore loser. I get that. And she couldn't wait to leave. You could see her face, okay? But everything that Trump said, and I'm a common sense person, okay? And I view what people say. Everything that Trump said was good for this country. Every point he made. How could they not stand up for him?
Because people that are politicians are narcissists. Let me ask you, when you were a younger man, I'm sure you're married and everything, but did you ever have a girlfriend break up with you?
Of course.
You've been dumped. How would you feel if your girlfriend broke up with you, and then about 2 months later, you had to sit in the front row of her wedding to the man that she left you for?
No,
that's what it's like for Kamala and Hillary, So I don't expect them to be happy sitting back there listening to Trump. I mean, they were dumped not by one person, they were dumped by the whole country. And then they got to sit back there with the guy that beat them. I wouldn't like it either. It would suck.
I understand that side, but just the fact that, it sets a precedent of bipartisan and not coming together when it's good for the country. What's good for the country, be a sore loser, suck it up, and stand up for what everything
said was right, was good. You know, and sometimes you just have to suck it
Not
up
if you're
and
them.
go
You know,
with
President
what-
Trump was talking about this the other day. Okay, I can't remember which. He's given like so many press conferences in the last week. I've forgotten which one this was, but he was talking about the inauguration. Okay, and he said, I'm here. He said, oh, this was the one at the Republican retreat in Miami, I think. He said, I'm up here ripping them for everything they did, and they're standing they're sitting right behind me. It was a little weird. Even Trump, you know what I mean? What do you expect? That inauguration speech. When we were at Wings Plus last week, Steve and I, with all of you great listeners who came, thanks so much, guys. One of our listeners, Irma, who goes on our cruises, her and her husband Gary go on all our cruises. Irma says, this is not an inaugural speech, it's a roast. He's roasting all of them. It was a celebrity roast of Kamala, of Biden, of Obama, of the Clintons, and they're all sitting there. I mean, so, you know, it was beautiful. Of course they looked miserable.
Yeah, I see your point. I just think that, you know, for the good of the country and the things that's what he's saying.
Well, from
right.
our perspective, which is right, but from their perspective, it's disaster.
Yeah, big disaster because they only want is power and money. That's
Correct.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's not for what is good for this country.
Mm-hmm.
And now there are other people other than the Kamalas and that were sitting there in inauguration that are still not letting Trump do his business. Okay. And
What are you talking about? He's gotten which one of his nominees didn't get confirmed?
Oh, I agree with you there, but I'm saying you see on all the stations and everything that they're just talking trash and Trump and about the freeze of Medicare and this and that.
So what do you?
and everything. I mean,
Well, if your standard is that for us to be winning, all the Democrats have to turn MAGA, that's an unrealistic standard. Of course, they're going to still do that.
Yeah, I understand your point, Brian.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. You know.
Don't like it.
It just
Well,
so. I don't like it because it shows the division.
I mean, what Trump did yesterday was, well, you know what? I'm going to take a break for the bottom, and after the bottom of the hour, I'll tell you what he did yesterday, which was amazing. Hey, listen, good to hear from you. Thanks for the call. Now, I want to remind everyone, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, Tom Laporta and Laporta Roofing will have a booth at the Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival all weekend long. It's going on today, Saturday, and Sunday. In the Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival, you can look it up online, Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival. It's a great event. You'll have a great time. I'm going to be over there sometime over the weekend. I don't know when, but you're going to have a wonderful time. It's really cool. And when you're over there, look for the Laporta Roofing booth and stop in and say hi to Tom Laporta and his team. That's the Fort Lauderdale Greek Festival all weekend long. And Tom Laporta will be there with Laporta Contracting and Roofing. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and come back with your calls after this. source, I will. We'll be back in 30 seconds, maybe less. Stand by. If you're new, welcome, and make sure that you subscribe. If you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video, and if you could share the video on all your social media, that'd be great too. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, we have passed the halfway mark, and it feels like I just opened up the mic. The show is flying by. It is Open MAGA Mic Friday. That's what we call open phones. On Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. It's fair game. Monday through Thursday, we try to urge you to talk about the topics we bring up. But Friday, the show prep is up to you. The number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Barb. I wasn't sure if I was on.
Yep.
I just heard something. Good morning. I just heard something on the news just now that is shocking to me about the FAA, and I wanted to call you because you fly all the time. They had a near miss the day before that accident.
Mm-hmm.
You probably heard about the controller doing two jobs. That's what the problem. That's what one controller cannot do that. I told you yesterday. I dated a controller.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most stressful job I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, they did the same thing with pilots. They have inexperienced people. They're rushing them through, and Joe Biden's administration, Pete Buttigieg, did not hire 1,300 qualified white controllers. To all these people out here who are woke, and the ones who come in here arguing with you about BS, this is what DEI and lowering standards has done. And now the whole country is affected. This guy, oh my God, everybody, pray for our new transportation, because this is serious. Now they're finding out it's been happening in other cities. So where there's heavy traffic, and I can't imagine it.
Like one of the things,
they're doing that is the most highly trafficked. They need to start diverting planes.
One of the most stressful jobs, maybe the most stressful job in America is air traffic controllers. And when President Trump was talking yesterday, and this is true, that they're hiring people that have mental illnesses to be air traffic controllers. That's crazy.
They're hiring people. They are hiring people to fill in and not even know some of the skills that they have. Mm-hmm. Because, a lot of the people that they're hiring, they need remedial help. And they're also immune, once they're hired, from being fired.
So they think. If you remember, President Reagan fired the air traffic controllers in 80. Was it 80 he did that? Remember, they went on strike and he fired them?
I remember that. I do. But he didn't, you know what? We didn't hire untrained people. So we can thank Reagan for making the right decision then. But I'm telling you right now, we're in trouble.
This has what is the new transportation guy? Oh my goodness, he's so perfect for it too.
Yeah. Sean Duffy.
Yeah. Yes. Sean. Yes. Donald Trump is a genius. He's a genius. He picked people who were into the news, who knew what they were doing, and very capable, and he didn't have to worry about their messaging because he had 2 years, 3 years to watch all of them.
Well, listen, Barbara, you brought up some good information.
Anyway,
have a great weekend, all right? You take care. You know, by the way, our number is 1-888-465-2631. Now, let me take another call or two, then we'll get into it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Oh, hey, Jeff. You're on the air.
Trump's right, and that last call is head on the nail. This DEI across the board, it's not just air traffic controllers, it's the military. Military should have nobody hired by DEI standards. They should be the best of the best. You know, and Trump's already changed that. He's already kicked out those Fruit Loop generals and men wearing skirts. And I'm sorry, you need the best of your best in air traffic controllers, your military, your cabinet positions, and Trump's doing that, and they can't take it. They're fighting them tooth and nail, and I believe that Tulsi's going to get nominated.
Confirmed. I think they're all. To me, it looks like they're all getting confirmed. Kash Patel included.
Yeah, you know, Kash was on fire. I thought I watched his. I missed hers because I guess was hers on at the same time Kash's was on.
Yeah, and the TV carry they can only carry one.
Yeah, I wish they'd done a split screen, and you know, with the technology, you think they could do one in.
The reason that everyone expected the Kash Patel one to be the exciting one, and it really wasn't. Hers was more exciting.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, hers was much more exciting.
And you know, I've always held back from Tulsi saying, you know, I haven't seen her prove herself, but I believe she is now. You know, I had my doubts about her, but when the Democrats and rhinos are attacking someone, it's probably the right person for the job.
Well, yeah. Well, whoever President Trump picks is always going to be the right person. I'm going to support whoever President Trump picks, always. I mean,
and on the accident at the airport, you know, they said there was a close call the day before. These are high, like you said, it's one of the highest stress jobs. I would say the highest stress job is being in combat in the military. That's pretty stressful, but you got the lives of people in your hands flying around, and you need your best people up there.
But you know what? An air traffic controller is like a general. They have thousands of people's lives in their hands every minute. You know, if you're an infantryman, you have lives that you're responsible for, but not that many every day. You know what I mean? The higher rank, the more life.
Yeah.
But you know what? After the break, Jeff, there's something beyond just that with this accident I'm going to get into after the break, okay? So don't miss it. All right, I got to run, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. And something is going on in the news media right now that I'm going to share with you when we get back, and it's very frustrating for me this morning. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We're going to take our last break of the second hour and be right back. Mm-hmm. Hey, Barry, it's Brian. Hey, I'm gonna put you on hold. I'll be with you in about a minute. Okay, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, and it is time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Here we are at the end of the first month of the year. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, what I have for you this morning, Brian, and good morning, we have to be prepared for the unexpected. And that's really what planning is all about. Planning for the worst case scenario, not the best case scenario. And here we are ending January, and we've had at least two major tragedies in this in this month. Of course, the plane and helicopter crash that we're all very upset about, and then of course what happened New Year's Day. And these are, of course, things that are just so random that any of us could have been in those situations. Any of us could have been on that plane, could have been walking on Bourbon Street, whatever it may have been. And you never know what's going to happen. And so we just have to be prepared, and we have to plan for the unexpected. And that's really, and it's not just about estate planning, which is what we do, the estate planning, but make sure that you have all your plans set up, everything. You plan with your financial advisor, with your CPA, with everybody. Make sure that you have a plan for yourself and your family, that you have a trust, that you have a will, that you have everything set up so that you don't have to leave a mess behind when that time comes.
Yeah, and Barry, when you at the Siegel Law Group put together a trust or any other documents that, maybe, I don't know if a trust is right for everyone, I don't know, but when you put together these plans for people, they're not cookie cutter. They're unique to the person because people have different needs and different families and different situations. And when I've been to your workshops, it amazes me how many eventualities that you prepare people for after their passing.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are, it's not like you go online and fill in a form and then it spits out a form for you.
Yeah.
We have a process. Clients come in, we go through, they fill out a questionnaire. We sit with them. We do at least an hour of a consultation, find out everything we need to know about their family, about their estate, about their goals, about their wishes, their dreams, and then we're able to craft a plan that's going to work for them. And of course, the important thing is to make sure that we have an updating system so that their plan will continue to be up to date as things change in their life, and that's what's important.
That's right. Well, listen, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. And also, remember, the Siegel Law Group can help you wherever you are in the state of Florida, with offices from Miami north to Palm Beach Gardens, the primary office in Boca, offices throughout Broward as well, but also your newest office on the west coast of Florida along the Gulf of America in Naples. So give the Siegel Law Group a call, toll free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week.
Brian, have a great weekend.
You too. All right, we are back. I opened with this at 6, but for those that weren't listening at 6 a.m., I just want to share something with you, and this is important, and it's very frustrating for me this morning on the program. Yesterday, when and if you're on hold, stand by. Okay, I'll go back to the phones in a moment, but I want to get this is important. When President Trump had his first press conference in the White House press briefing yesterday, with that beautiful presidential seal in front of him and the presidential flag behind him, and he was there with Transportation Secretary Duffy, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and the Vice President J.D. Vance. all of them, including the president, talked about DEI, and its role in this crash. And the media just started freaking out immediately, and they're still freaking out about it now. And none of them, it hasn't even occurred to any of these idiots in the media because they hate Trump so much. This is the president, the vice president, the defense secretary, and the secretary of transportation. Obviously, they know something about the air traffic controller or the helicopter pilots that the public doesn't know about yet. Why else would all of them be talking about DEI and its role? Well, when I got up early this morning, there was a story sent to me and everybody like me in the media. This was not unique to me. Everybody has gotten this story. There is a story that has not been confirmed involving the crash. I'm not going to reference what it is or what it involves. If it is true, it will change the world. And no one has reported on the story that is a mainstream or trusted news source yet. And everyone in the media has the story, not just me, everyone. And everyone is waiting to report it. No one is reporting it because we all want to get the story confirmed before we go public with it. Now, even though it's open phones, if you're privy to this information, open phones do not apply to that story because a lot of times, and this has happened many, many times over the years, the forces of evil on the left will send fake stories to conservatives to try to get us to report on them and then show, oh, that should make you look like a fool. And we're not going to report fake news. This story involving the crash is so big that no one wants to report on it yet. And I'm talking about people even like Jack Posobiec has not yet reported on it. And it is big. And it's, we can't go on when I first got up this morning, the story was texted to me. And it's all over the internet. It's not, I wouldn't call it viral yet because people don't even want to repost the story. Okay, people don't want to retweet the story yet either until it is confirmed, and that's okay. We don't have to be first. It's better to be accurate than to be first. But no one wants to retweet this. That's a credible news person or discuss it, including me. I have not retweeted the story. I have seen the story on social media as well, and I was hoping that the story would be confirmed before I went on the air. But it hasn't, and I've been checking during the show all morning to see if somebody who's a credible news person will confirm the story. And by credible, it could be Fox, but it could also be someone like Jack Posobiec or Benny Johnson or Tucker or somebody like that, Megyn Kelly, but Breitbart. But no one, even the Gateway Pundit, no one has confirmed the story. And everyone in media, fake news media and alt media, all of us have this story, and we're all sitting on the story, waiting to find out if it's going to be debunked or confirmed. And it is frustrating. And somebody will confirm it or debunk it, and I'm imagining it's going to happen soon. But it's very frustrating. And I've had things like this happen before, but this is big. And yesterday during that White House press conference, President Trump and his cabinet that were up there with him, they know this story, whether or not it's true or not. And they didn't share it either. So we'll find out, but it's very frustrating. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. And some friends of mine have texted me. I'm not even texting this story to people. Because if it's not true, I don't want to have anybody saying that I'm sending around fake news because I'm not going to do that. It's really amazing. I don't know if I've seen a story like this that no one will even retweet. It's so big. Everyone wants to make sure this one is right before they even retweet it. All right, 1-888-465-2631 is our number. And I'm not going to entertain calls to tell you if it's that or not either. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Once, twice, they put the phone down. But I'll tell you, if the story is confirmed, if this story gets confirmed today, even Fox News may not run with it right away. May not run with it right away. And I'm not going to entertain calls of people, is this it? Is it that? I'm not going to reference what it is, if it involves a thing or a person or a place or anything. It's just I'm not gonna do any of that, and I'm not gonna play those games either. It's too big, and I find it so interesting because during the breaks, I keep checking with trusted news people and news sources that I know. Everyone is sitting on it, so it's very strange. Now, if it's debunked down the road and no one talks about it, I may tell you then what it was, but I'm not going to do it now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, here we go. You're on the air. Yeah, go ahead.
You're on the air. What's your name?
Yes. Oh, boy. It's going to be...
Yo, is this live right now?
You're live, man, for now.
Oh, dude, sorry. It was like delayed. The live stream was delayed.
Oh, yeah. What you're hearing on the as delayed.
I was in a chat earlier, and they told me to call. I just want to know what your opinion is on the January 6th pardon.
I'm fine with everything President Trump does.
You're fine with the pardons of cop beaters?
I'm fine with everything Trump does. Since when? Yes, loyal to America. Loyal to America. I'm curious about this. I got a question. Since when do Democrats support police all of a sudden?
We've always supported the police.
Really?
Okay, well,
really? Like Derek Chauvin? Derek Chauvin?
I'm asking you about January 6th, all right? Quit,
And I answered your question.
Why is that okay?
Why is what okay?
Why is the January 6th pardon okay when those people...
Well, many of the people, I'll tell you why. There's not...
after being pardoned,
excuse me.
ended up reoffending and was shot and killed by a cop for I don't know what offense, but he got shot and
Okay.
killed because he fought a cop.
This is... do you want an answer to your question? What are you, a Senate? Do you want to bark at me or do you want an answer? Do you want... Do you want an answer or do you just want to bark at me? Which do you want?
You didn't give me an answer. You said you're okay with everything.
I'm gonna give you a more detailed answer. Do you want to hear it? I'll give it with or without you on the line. You know, most of the people, when you talk about these pardons, okay, no police officer. I don't support violence against anyone, including police officers. Okay, but everyone in this case that was pardoned has already done their sentence because they had a trial or they made I'm not. Excuse me. I am. You're not a senator who gets. No, I'm not lying. I haven't even finished a sentence. Okay. Many of them. I'll continue this with or without you. You can be a part of the conversation or not.
Can you stop lying? Continue.
It's not a... Oh, I can continue? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Many of them have been sitting in prison in violation of the constitutional rights without even a...
they were all due process.
No, excuse me, without even having a trial. So there was
They had trials. They had face
excuse me, I'm gonna hang up on you. Listen, I'm gonna... Didn't your... All right, thank you for your call. Now, I'm going to answer his question, but, his mother obviously did not teach him manners. With no police, I don't support violence against police or anyone. No crime was committed that enough time was not served for by these people, right? No police officers were killed. The only person that was killed was Ashley Babbitt by one of the Capitol Police, and they gave him awards for doing that. So the people that were pardoned, that were in prison, did enough time for anything that they may have done illegal on January 6th. That's it. I mean, that's the answer to the question, right? All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. I expect that guy will call back again and say, you're lying. Lying isn't disagreeing with you, okay? Lying is telling a known falsehood. 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. All right, we'll be back in less than a minute. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian, and I'm on a whole bunch of radio stations. This is our top of the hour break, you know, for traffic and all that stuff. At the top of the hour, we'll be back in about 30 seconds on the radio, and I'll go back to the phones. If you're on hold, stand by. And if you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the chat. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. The third hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. I want to remind everyone an incredible deal going on at MyPillow.com. Of course, there's huge sales going on with the mega sale, but with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, right now, and take advantage of this while it's there. This will not last forever. On top of the great discounts on the top MyPillow products, free shipping on all orders. Now, recently we've been talking about free shipping on orders over $75. No, it's now free shipping on all orders, no matter how small, no matter how large. You could order the MyPillow socks, which I think are the least expensive item on the MyPillow website. With our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, it's free shipping, or the largest and heaviest that they have. So free shipping site-wide on everything, on top of the big discounts that are going on during the mega sale. So take advantage of that. Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, we've covered a lot today, but again, it is open phones. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian, this is Bill up in Alexandria.
Hey, Bill, what's up?
Just a couple. I have no idea what you're, suggesting has been put out. All I can tell you is a couple of thoughts of mine. One is the fact that I've seen no air traffic in this area, and I'm looking basically from just south of the airport, looking to the south and the east into Maryland, and I've seen no helicopter traffic. I've seen no commercial jet liners, which is very rare. I cannot see to the north from where I am as to what might be going on closer to the capital area. But I understood yesterday that they had reopened that airport.
Yeah.
And all I can tell you is I don't think they have. I think that it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing to remember about this particular area, where the airport is, across the river, is a military base with a runway. And just down the river a little bit, I would say maybe 2 or 3 miles, and then to the east is Andrews Air Force Base, which is one of the most busiest air bases in
Well,
the
so what are you
probably.
suggesting? So there's not a lot of planes around. So what are you thinking?
Well, and we have 2 other airports, military airports. They're very close, and none of it appears to me to be working. When Andrews launches jets, which they do regularly, they usually come right over Alexandria, and I've seen nothing. It appears to me that this whole airspace to the south has been closed. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching.
Well, the story I'm talking about, I'm not going to reference it, and I'm not going to confirm or deny anything that anybody may say. I'm getting text messages from people that are asking me. I'm not even, from friends of mine, I'm not even putting this in text because I don't want to have any record of me spreading fake news. And every, and this is not just me, every single member of the media in America have this story, and everyone's sitting on it until it's confirmed. Everyone.
Well, let me just, another point I want to make to you. Most of the times that I see Blackhawks operating in this area, it's going into the Pentagon, coming from the west. And then
well, so
going
all this stuff you're noticing in the air, what's your conclusion? Do you have an idea, a theory or something?
Well, the only thing that makes sense to me is that it's unsafe.
Well,
Something's
maybe
going on that makes this.
Maybe
That's just a conjecture. That's just a conjecture. But one other point 2 points I want to make. At 7:00 that night, I was in Crystal City, which is maybe a mile from the airport. It was pitch dark, and I heard a helicopter overhead. I'm very conscious of helicopters because I was in Vietnam.
Well, isn't Reagan still closed, or is it open?
What I was told you is I understood last night, that it was open.
I
but
don't know.
It doesn't appear to me to be open.
Maybe maybe it's not open yet, and that's why there's no traffic coming in. I don't know.
That's what I'm assuming.
But also, if I was flying to Washington, I wouldn't fly unless I had to. I would cancel my flight.
The point I'm making is, it appears to me that Reagan is closed, and every other aircraft place around this area to the south.
All right, it's a mystery. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call, but if you get any info, you're welcome to call back. All right, take care. Now, I want to share something. I wanted to share this actually yesterday, but because of the plane crash, we didn't get to it. And one of my favorite people around President Trump is Stephen Miller. And when Stephen Miller talks, I always stop whatever I'm doing and listening. Don't you? Especially when he's giving a speech at one of the rallies. Stephen Miller is probably one of the most brilliant political minds of our time. I mean, he's right up there, right? And he cleaned Jake Tapper's clock involving the deportations the other day. Did you guys see this? Listen to this. This is Stephen Miller cleaning the clock of this windbag. Jake Tapper live on CNN on his own show. Listen. Listen to this. Okay, so this what Jake Tapper and all of his liberal CNN arrogance is about to throw to Stephen Miller the "who's going to pick your strawberries" argument. Oh. Okay, so Jake Tapper. So what Stephen Miller said, only with the who's going to pick the strawberries, only 1% of the illegals are doing farm work. Who knew that? I didn't know that. Only 1%. So yeah, and the guest worker program covers that anyway. And a lot of them are on the guest worker program already. And Jake Tapper, I bet you, this guy's pathetic, Jake Tapper. I bet you Jake Tapper just screamed and yelled at his producers, his staff, for his embarrassment there. Of course, it's not his fault that he looks like an idiot. It's his staff's fault. I'm sure that's how it played out. And you guys could just hear it on the radio. But if you could have seen the video of that when Stephen Miller's talking, Jake Tapper is so annoyed. He starts fumbling with the papers and everything else. He was so embarrassed on his own program with that. And that's amazing. Only 1%. And this is important because this is the most common talking point. Who's going to pick the strawberries? And only 1% of the illegals do agricultural farm work. That's huge. All right, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. It is Open Phones, Open MAGA Mike Friday. Every Friday on the program. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the phone calls after the break. Be back right after this. Oh, yeah, Stephen Miller's great. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video. And, of course, share the video on all your socials if you don't mind. Invite your friends to join the community. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. We're going to break on the radio. We'll be back in about 10 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Oh, man, we've had some pretty good calls today, for the most part, one or two exceptions, but so far so good on this Open MAGA Mic Friday. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is James.
Your name is...
From Pennsylvania.
What?
James calling from Pennsylvania.
James in Pennsylvania. What's on your mind, James from Pennsylvania?
Yeah,
Speak up.
I want to respond to, do you know the word migrant? The word migrant worker is what you just explained. The people that come over here illegally to work. That's the real definition of a migrant worker. The illegal alien term is what they really are right now. So,
yes,
these are the same people that talk about minimum wage, right? They want to pay a fair wage, a livable wage for our workers. But these are the same people that want to exploit people who's not supposed to be in this country for labor. Make that make sense. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
Well, the Democrats have...
I was for workers' rights.
The Democrats have always wanted slaves, right? Democrats used to keep African Americans as slaves, and now they have these illegals that they use as slaves. Farm workers, nannies, restaurant workers, prostitutes.
And Brian, I want to say one last thing. What was the same argument to end slavery? The same argument today.
That's right.
If you place it with illegal aliens. If you end slavery, it's going to tank our economy. Look what they're doing now. They never changed. They talked about that switch, but that switch never happened.
That's right.
Thank you for letting me call. I appreciate you, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. Take care from Pennsylvania. Now, I was talking earlier, these confirmation hearings are going so well. I mean, they're amazing. I think everyone's going to, unless something unusual happens, it looks like everyone's going to get confirmed, including Kash Patel. But Tulsi Gabbard yesterday, she really showed why they hate her. And she was just amazing. I played some clips earlier, but I got a couple more I want to share. She just did so. You know, the reason I'm playing the Tulsi Gabbard clips today is it didn't air on television live. You know, Tulsi Gabbard's hearing was going on the same time as Kash Patel, and then they had day 2 of Bobby Kennedy, and the news carried Kash Patel because they thought that the Kash Patel hearing was going to be the explosive one. I did too. And the way that Kash Patel handled that hearing, it was really uneventful because he didn't give the Democrats what they were expecting. And the Tulsi Gabbard hearings where so much of the action was yesterday, and it wasn't carried on television, which, you know, hey, you know, Monday morning quarterbacking, who would have thought that the Gabbard hearing would have been more exciting than the Kash Patel one? So so I want to play a couple clips. I played some earlier in the show. These are different ones. This was huge. Listen, this is Tulsi Gabbard during her hearing yesterday.
Mm.
denying the existence of programs that facilitated the mass collection of millions of Americans' phone and internet records, yet was never held accountable. Under John Brennan's leadership, the CIA abused its power to spy on Congress, to dodge oversight, lied about doing it until he was caught, and yet has never been held responsible. Under Biden, the FBI abused its power for political reasons to try to surveil Catholics who attend traditional Latin Mass, labeling them as quote-unquote radical traditionalist Catholics. Personally, just 24 hours after I criticized Kamala Harris and her nomination, I was placed on a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Sky.
Wow.
Sadly, there are more examples. The bottom line is this must end.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we have lawfare and deep state fare going on against American citizens. This is amazing. And, you know, I'll tell you something. The left were the ones that were always griping about the abuses of J. Edgar Hoover and telling all the stories and making all the movies about it. Now they're all J. Edgar Hoovers. It's amazing to me. She did a stellar job. The way that she handled things yesterday, Kash Patel too, and the others, they have set the standard for how confirmation hearings will go on in the future for both parties. This was just a beautiful day yesterday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Never Trumper Steve from beautiful Palm City. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, hey. How you been?
Okay. I assume Steve is there?
No, Steve's off today.
Okay. I thought Steve. Okay. So I just wanted to bring up a couple of your points. Specifically, Trump's press conference yesterday.
Beautiful press conference.
Now, I know you say Trump doesn't lie. He never lies. Even though the Ukraine war was not over day one, prices are not down before day one. I'm waiting for a year from now when he claims that gas prices will be half of what they are today.
You know, I'm confused about this call. Okay, now I'm going to let you get to what you called about, but we haven't talked in a while, and I think it was the last time we talked, or maybe the time before the last time we talked. You told me you were going to call and tell me that Pete Hegseth was never going to be confirmed as Secretary of Defense. And I just assumed when you said this is Never Trumper Steve, you were calling in to admit defeat and apologize and tell everyone that you were wrong in your prediction of Pete Hegseth, who's now the Secretary of Defense. But I guess you didn't plan on doing that.
That's why I asked if Steve was there with you, because I wanted to say, took me a few extra days to get back to you on that. I promised I would. I don't listen to your show to know when he's on and when he's not on, especially after the 8 o'clock hour. But I accept what the Wall Street Journal has said about Pete Hegseth's confirmation, and they are conservative newspaper, of course, that the Republican senators gave him a pass. That tells you all you got to know. And
you said he wouldn't be confirmed. You said he wouldn't be confirmed.
The vice president had to break a tie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sound like the
I don't care.
Overriding for Pete.
It doesn't matter. You said he wouldn't be confirmed, so you were wrong.
I thought someone who had no qualifications.
Okay, so you can't say that you were wrong, because you said he would not be. You said he would not be confirmed.
You cross me and you're going to be out of a job.
You said he would not be confirmed.
Right?
You said he would not be confirmed.
So that's why I asked if Steve was there. Anyway, I'm not shy about calling him. I can be wrong sometimes. I can be optimistic that common sense will prevail. On Pete, it didn't. But, that's life.
Okay, so you were wrong. Okay.
I wasn't shy about calling him about that. I would have called in sooner.
Okay.
I'm waiting for Steve, and he's not here today. Anyway, so I wanted to get into the press conference yesterday, because the truth matters. And when Trump indicated that DEI is responsible for the crash of the plane, and then when he was challenged by the press, he said, well, it could have been. Well, could have been means it could not have been. And the thing that is really irritating, it's as if Trump is forgetting he served for 4 years once before. And what he doesn't want your listeners to know, and they can Google this to see that I'm telling the truth, that there are FAA records showing that the agency's diversity hiring was in effect before, during, and after Trump's first administration.
Yeah.
And I direct you to a memo dated April 11th of 2019 in the FAA website, which indicates just that.
Okay.
Just because someone has
Okay, slow down. We're short on time, Steve. Okay. Okay, so you listen. Excuse me.
Which is a lot of things
All right.
that have nothing to do with
Enough. Hold on, Steve. You can direct people to a website. I want to direct them to the river in D.C., where there's 67 dead Americans. Not only did President Trump get up yesterday and say DEI played a role, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said it, the Vice President of the United States J.D. Vance said it, and the Defense Secretary Sean Duffy said it. Don't you think that they know? Excuse me, let me finish.
That said on the back in big bold letters, FAA. He is not the FAA commissioner. You know why they didn't have an FAA?
Slow down, Steve. I'm trying to talk, but you got to stop. You got to stop and let me get a word in, okay? Can you not accept the fact that the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation, and the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Defense, for all of them to get up and say DEI played a role, don't you think they know something that the public has not been made aware yet of?
No, they're just following what Daddy is saying. They're there to do his bidding.
They're just doing what Daddy's saying. All right, take care.
You
Appreciate the call. Just doing what Daddy is saying. Okay. Well, get ready to be wrong again. Okay. They know everything about everybody before that press conference. They're running the government now. Every department. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back after this. We'll be back in less than about 20 seconds here. Welcome back, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video and share the video, too, if you don't mind, on your socials. All right, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones every Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the calls. We've covered a lot on the program today and some pretty good calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you're out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bruce from Lake Worth.
Hey, Bruce, what's up?
You know, in answer to the obnoxious, pimply-faced kid that wouldn't let you speak.
Which one?
And kept calling you a liar. The one that was talking about that the January 6th people should be in jail for life because they supposedly hit cops.
Yes.
I wonder if he's aware that all across the country, the left is doing away with resisting arrest charges, which of course means that you can beat the shirt off of a cop. I
thought another S. I was so close. I thought another S word was coming. My hand just moved to the dump button. I was quick on the draw on that one. Yeah.
And the other thing is, 1,100 police officers had damage.
Well, here's everything you said. Here's the thing, okay, and it's what I tried to tell Pimples, okay. If the worst thing that they were accused of doing with the police happened, and I'm not saying that it did, they've done enough. They've done enough time for that.
Right, you're right.
They've
been in for 3 years.
Yeah.
With any due process.
And if Kamala would have won, those guys would have never gotten out of prison. They would have been lifelong political prisoners.
Absolutely, they would have been. That would have turned into a gulag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it already is a gulag from what I understand. The way they're being treated, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they got pardoned.
And not everyone got pardoned, by the way. There was some commuting of a sentence of some of them, and and that's that. I mean, look at Biden pardoned cop killers. So he pardoned somebody. He pardoned, and when I say cop, he pardoned somebody who I think killed FBI agents.
Yes. Yeah, guy shot two. He was in jail. He shot 2 FBI agents. They were wounded. He walked up to them and shot him in the head.
Yeah, he killed. Those are federal police, so he killed cops. I mean, that's the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
And they were pardoned.
The left all of a sudden have become the defenders of the police. Can you imagine?
I know.
What a joke!
It's such a joke.
It's comical. That's like them becoming defenders of the police is like us defending Planned Parenthood. It's that extreme. It really is.
Exactly right. Yep, exactly right. It's just off the wall.
It's a joke, isn't it?
It's whichever way the wind is blowing. With them, it's all fantasy land. I mean, I will ask that kid next time when he calls again, which I think he will. Ask him how much is a plane ticket to his fantasy land. It might be quite an interesting place to visit.
That's true. All right, take care. Great call.
All right, you too.
All right, take care. Some good calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Milo, Cuyahoga Falls.
Yes, where?
Yeah, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Ohio, my home state.
Yes. I just wanted.
Where is Cuyahoga Falls? Like because I'm from Columbus, Ohio. So if I'm in Columbus,
it's north. It's over by Akron.
Okay.
Between Akron and Cleveland.
Okay.
I maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but during Trump's first presidency, didn't he cancel a program that was basically DEI but named something different? He got rid of DEI his first time around. And I don't know if it was
the Biden came in and brought everything back. But about this
get that, but
program,
they're
I
trying to
don't know the details of that particular program. It is open phones, guys. So on Open Maga Mike Friday, when it's open phones, sometimes you get things that aren't all that exciting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, JJ.
You know, I have to say yesterday Capitol Hill was sort of a Magalicious type of thing that went on.
Magalicious.
Stephen Miller, by the way, was like Delta Force for politics. I love
Oh,
that
yeah,
guy.
he is, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, they're all kind of like, all of these people that Trump has brought in, they're like,
You know what he's
tier
like?
one assets.
People. Everybody sees James Carville now. He looks some frail old crypt keeper.
Sick, yeah, he looks sick. He
But-
looks like what is it, the
But
puppet master.
he used to be like the second, third most powerful person in Washington when Clinton was president. And he was very good on TV, debating even Republicans back then. Stephen Miller is like James Carville times a million. He's, as far as a political advisor and I guess like spokesperson for a president, there's never been anyone even close to the level of Stephen Miller. He's so brilliant, and he's got something in common with Elon Musk. He can take something complex and make it so common, and he's got technique. You know that thing with Tapper. He started with when Steve and I, there's technique to this. He started with ridicule, and the ridicule. Like I did,
Very
like
quiet ridicule.
when, like, for example, Never Trump or Steve, I used the ridicule technique when I said, oh, the last time we spoke, you said Pete Hegseth wasn't going to be confirmed. I assumed you called in to tell us you were wrong and apologize. That was the ridicule technique. And sorry, hey, giving away the Colonel's secret recipe. Steve's off today, so you get some secrets, okay?
Quiet ridicule.
Yeah, quiet ridicule. And Stephen Miller, when Tapper says, who's going to pick the strawberries? Well, of course, Jake, I know that's a question. You're not advocating for slave labor to provide food for the American people. That was the quiet ridicule. It was really good.
Yeah, Tulsi yesterday as well with the, what they're mad about is I'm not their puppet, and Cash was sort of like a Dr. Jekyll. He was like a different type of Cash. It was almost like he didn't fall for any of the questions.
Well,
It
what
wasn't the
Cash
question,
did,
it was the insinuation.
what
he didn't
Cash,
fall for any of that.
what Cash did was a different form. There's many. I'm not going to tell you all debate techniques, guys, because I don't want to give away all my secrets. But what Cash Patel did was he did a couple different things. One, it was that old thing you always hear: less is more, right? He didn't give them anything to play off of, and
It's honest, deceptive. It's like an oxymoron. He did an honest, deceptive truth without the deception.
Exactly.
He went to the exact meaning of the words. He didn't expand on any of the insinuations that were pushed, and it drove them nuts.
like during Kavanaugh's hearings, Kavanaugh, when Kamala was a senator and they were barking all these lies about him and women, Kavanaugh gave them material. I didn't do it, but he was like Tanya Harding. He was like Nancy Kerrigan yesterday on TV. He was crying and doing all this stuff. And, and Cash Patel just didn't feed them any material. And they had nowhere to go. And they looked insane because they're barking at him. And he's like, okay, whatever.
They did. They
whatever.
really did look insane.
Yeah, they looked crazed.
The Trump yesterday, during his press conference, the thing that, now I know the DEI is just absolutely insane. It's stupid. But to hear the president during a press conference get up there and read the FFA job qualifications.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
That was scary. I mean, you know what? Listen, DEI, disagree with it, but if you want to do DEI down at the Dairy Queen, okay, you're not going to kill me.
You can have your mentally ill people can work at Dairy Queen or McDonald's.
But not air traffic control.
No.
And I'm really, one of the things I'm worried about too, Brian, and I think they're going to be looking in, taking care of all this stuff is, listen, we get our software and our medicine and chips from all over the damn world. And, one of the things I thought of last night after just thinking about all this insanity is that, it could have just been somebody, pressed a little button somewhere and screwed up the software on the, for the air traffic
Well,
control.
that's not,
So
that's
many different things could be happening.
well, there's one thing that, and I've been checking during the show. It's this story that all of us in the media have that we're sitting on, there's a snowball effect having on social media. It's only a matter of time before it breaks. So you're going to, if it's true. All right, I got to run, and I want to tell everyone about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. You know, Dr. Appleton, remember, today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. In fact, most of the time, when I go to see Dr. Appleton, it's typically on a Saturday. Okay, appointments are not necessary. His laser wave pain treatment, Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 7 times. 7 times. And Dr. Appleton, who, by the way, offers free consultations, take advantage of that. And if you have x-rays or other scans, bring them with you, and he'll take a look at them. Dr. Appleton, he'll examine you. This is what he does with me. 'Cause the last time I went in was my left shoulder. I was in so much pain, I was almost in tears. I couldn't move my arm. He examined me, and he said, okay, this is where the pain is. I'm treating. And I said, yeah, but my whole arm hurts. My fingers hurt. And he's like, don't worry about it. This is where the injury is. And I said, okay, he's the doctor. And sure enough, he treated me in this one spot in my shoulder with the laser wave pain treatment. I'm pain-free, and it's been 7 times he's done that with me. The laser treatment, what it does is it repairs the damage that's causing you the pain. The pain is a signal from your body that something's broken, something's wrong, and the laser treatment repairs the damage. He is a miracle worker, Dr. Appleton. His laser wave pain treatment is 100% painless. You can't even feel it. No shots, no injections, no drugs, no downtime. And Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. And again, appointments are not necessary even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Hey, it's Brian. Hold on. Okay. 30 seconds and we're back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It's time for the final gold report of the week from William Youngerman, calling us from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, how the metals ending the week?
The metals are ending the week at the highest level in history.
Get out of town.
Yesterday, we saw gold gain $36.90 after trading in a range of $2,757 on the low, all the way up to $2,803. If you remember at the beginning of the week,
Whoa.
I thought this would be the week that would break $2,800. Well, we certainly did it. Yesterday, we saw it get up to $2,803, close out $36.90 up on the day at $2,794.70. Silver was up 81 cents at $31.59 the ounce. Platinum gaining $22 at $9.68, and palladium was up $31 at $9.78. And we made new highs overnight. Gold trading in a range of $27.89 all the way up to $2,808, and right now we're at $2,804 the ounce, flying up another $8.70.
Wow.
Silver down 9 cents right now at $31.50. Platinum up $5 at $9.74, and palladium unchanged at $9.78. So the markets are doing amazing, and fortunately fulfilling our predictions so far.
Yeah. Now, if someone is not into the metals and they want to buy, this is amazing, and they want to buy gold for the first time today, and they don't know anything about it, you and your team over there are ready to answer any questions they have. But what's the best buy in gold today? If when someone comes over,
everything's on sale as far as the premiums are concerned. So you can buy just about any product, and we have all of the products in stock, so we can show everybody, and they can pick and choose what they want, but recognize that they're saving a great deal of money on the premiums, because the premiums have come down so far with the high prices on the metals now. So that's a great buying opportunity, a great incentive to buy. And I mean, you can buy pre-33 gold coins for just 1% over the gold value.
Wow.
I mean, this is unheard of.
Yeah.
So great buying opportunities as far as the products are concerned. Recognizing that we are at all-time highs.
So people out there that are building a collection, or maybe you're stacking trying to collect a certain number in a different kind of coin, this is the time to do it. If you have your favorite coins out there, this is the time to do it. All right, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Now remember, at William Youngerman's, everything is available for immediate delivery, okay? So all the metals are in stock and on hand. Give them a call, and you can do your transactions no matter where you're located in America or the world, over the phone and through the mail. 1-800-327-5010. I never thought we would hear that 2800 number this early in the year. I mean, this is exciting. I can tell you can't wait to open up at 10. You're excited. 1-800-327-5010. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, I know it's going to be a great day for you today. We'll talk on Monday.
Okay, I want to remind everybody we're a full-service rare coin, precious metals, and jewelry dealer, and for Steve Kane listeners, you get free verbal appraisals on any collectibles or anything you want to bring in.
Oh, yeah, we're short on time, but let me mention, if this is I didn't even think of, I'm so excited at the 2800 number, I'm not thinking clearly. If this is a great time, if you have some old, broken, out-of-date, ugly jewelry or something like that you want to turn into money, or maybe coins, this is probably the time to do it, William Youngerman, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, take care. We'll talk on Monday.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye. It's record high, and he wants to give you money for your medals at the record high. That's amazing. All right, back to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian. What's up?
Hey, Brian. How are you today?
All right.
It's interesting, Brian. Watching the hearings, and in my case, I'm on and off, watching different people. If the far left thinks it's their last line of defense of stopping this new government coming in with all the nominees, not only have they not knocked anybody out, they haven't even laid a glove on anybody yet.
No, not even close.
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. I don't know if they realize it, but when the guys are asking the questions, the inquisitors looks more panicked than the person answering the question. It's not too good for television.
Well, yesterday with Kash Patel, the Democrats, it looked like right before the hearing, the FBI came and dropped a file about them on the desk. They looked panicked.
Right.
In the Bobby Kennedy hearing, it looked like all the Democrats, the pharmaceuticals, had said, "Hey, we didn't give you millions of dollars for nothing. You better stop Bobby." I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Well, but the people who are asking the questions look more panicked than the people answering the questions.
It's not supposed to be that way.
No, it's not. It got reversed there. Did you happen to catch that? There was a short video I saw during the day of an FAA. The head of they were asking questions of the head of the FAA. He was going to be a nominee.
Didn't know. Yes.
Brian, he could not even answer the simplest question.
He couldn't answer the simple question about what is up, what is down, what is altitude. I mean, it was. I think it was Ted Cruz was asking him the question. And it was,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to play it today, but the calls have been so good, and I'm short on time now.
I thought, it was
humiliating.
amazing because there's a guy, especially in the timing after this terrible tragedy we had at the airport there. And this guy's the head of the FAA. He can't answer basic questions.
He doesn't understand.
This isn't a case against DEI. I mean, this is,
Yeah, but
I think
Go ahead.
bringing this DEI question to the forefront very important, and this has really come full circle now. It's literally you're head of the FAA, and they cannot answer the simplest questions. It's got to stop.
That's right. Hey, listen,
It's
great.
to our national security.
You made a good point. We're short on time, but I appreciate the call. You know, when the Homeland Secretary, didn't she look great, raided that apartment in New York and got that gang leader finally in custody, that Venezuelan gang. Did you guys see the video they were showing of him in the apartment building in Colorado? He was the one holding the AR-15. You remember that video? And I've reminded you guys many times, it's amazing. That video of that gang in that apartment building in Colorado was taken on a doorbell camera. The doorbell, I know, very high quality, and you can't even tell. It looks like it was taken on a television camera or something, but that's the doorbell camera. That's how good these doorbell cameras are. And Sloman's is going to give you a doorbell camera for free that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. The number is easy to remember. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Get yourself that doorbell camera. All right. Well, let's go back to the phone. Some great calls today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, you say it all the time. Ivy, hey brother. The political apprentice. Everyone in positions now were picked from the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
And I love the way that he played. Cash Patel played like a little puppy dog at certain points. And he just sit back and I'm like, wow, he looks kind of timid. But underneath him, I knew the fire was lit and wait. What I'm looking at is these people now, the whole administration competing with each other. Everyone wants to do as best as they can, but not necessarily to try to outperform each other. Wait till the action starts. Now, Susan Collins, we already got her. You know, and we know Mitch McConnell is not going to play ball. He's out there. He's out anyway. He's done. But what is the other lady's going to do? She's probably going to go for the Democrats. We already got the votes. We don't need Vance right now, but he's still in the reserve. It's a wrap. It's a done deal because no more NGOs, meaning that they're not going to have that kind of money to come campaign.
That's
and
right.
We're going to primary the rest of those people out.
That's right.
We're going to have the money now.
That's right.
Okay?
All right, IB. Great.
Yeah,
great call. We're short on time, so I'm going to try to get a couple more people in before the show is over. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, Cindy from Florida. Yeah, I read where it was a co-pilot with a female.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything about this story, but during the show, it's gaining more. Everybody in media, by the way, thanks for the call. This involves the crash. There's a big story that all of us in the media received in the middle of the night, and all of us have been sitting on it, and no one in the media has even retweeted it yet. But it's gaining a lot of steam online this morning, and I'm not going to confirm or deny what it is, other than to tell you that anyone that's called in about it today has not gotten it, which I'm really surprised because all of us are sitting on this, or waiting for a confirmation before any of us go public. But if it's true, it's a big story, huge story. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Todd from Boynton Beach.
Hey, Tom.
Todd.
Todd, I'm sorry. Todd.
Can you comment on the rumor that I heard that helicopter pilot was transgender?
No, I'm not going to entertain any calls on what it is or isn't until it's confirmed. And the reason why do you think I'm doing that?
It needs to be confirmed.
Yes, I don't want to be fake news. And everyone else, the entire conservative media of America have had this story since early this morning, and all of us are sitting on it because no one has confirmed it yet. And I've never had this experience at this level before. It'll either be debunked or confirmed soon. I've been monitoring during the break. More and more has come out that gives credibility to it. But I'm not gonna do any, like with the last caller. I'm not gonna give any confirmations or denials with anyone. But if it's true, it'll change the world. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back on Monday live, and if you hang on the line, you'll be first on the show Monday morning. Oh, great calls today, by the way. And a lot of you guys called in and challenged me today, gave me some grief on this and that. That's cool. I love it. That's great. We always welcome callers who disagree with us on the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Thanks for listening. See you Monday morning at 6 a.m. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you subscribe.